Related Canadian immigration consultant and founder director of CIP, Study Abroad and Immigration Experts. I previously worked at Conestoga College and Mohawk College as the International Students Recruitment Officer. Welcome to our daily live QA session streamed to our social media. And like special day in India today, we have so many festivals in different states. I, so wishing you all uh, happy festivals. I actually did a poster. We had this poster, very interesting poster, for the wishes today and Ramadan coming tomorrow evening, right? So that for us, maybe here in Canada, it
Yes,
might,
that's right.
yeah. So, so many festivals this week and also with the solar eclipse. I was there yesterday with my kids at the Royal Canadian Air Force Museum at Dunville. So, guys, in Punjab, happy Baisakhi, happy Gudi Purwa. In Ahmedabad, in Maharashtra, happy Vishu here in Kerala, happy Ugadi for the Telugu people, and for Tamilians, happy Pudantu, and then Poila Baisakhi, and then there's so many. India is so diverse. I don't even know some of these festivals, to be honest, like especially in the Northeast. So yeah, so guys, I hope you are enjoying the festivities out there. So just a quick, um, live video with Sadab. Sadab has been with us for some time, and his brother is applying at York University. So Sadab, welcome to our talk, the International Student Review. Thank you for
Thank you.
finding time. Sadab, a short intro about yourself. Where are you working now, and
Yeah,
what?
thank you, sir, for inviting me. Hello, everyone. Um, just a brief intro about me and a background about me. I did my engineering back in India, and there I worked for 2 years in the Reliance Industries on the manufacturing side. And then I decided to pursue my higher education here in Canada. I decided to do my Masters of Management from York University. I graduated in 2020, and after that, I started my Canadian journey. I started as a technical support analyst at Oracle, and I've been with Oracle since almost 3 years, currently working as a staff consultant. Yeah, I think that's
Congratulations,
a minute.
Oracle is a big name, right? It's not
Yes,
easy, and then especially your journey. You started as a technical support, and now you're a staff consultant. So much of hard work. Congratulations, Sadab.
thank you so much
Sadab
for
is
that.
from Mumbai, and his brother is applying through it. Sadab was in our Facebook group. He's a member of our Facebook group, CIP. Sadab, is Canada meeting your expectations?
Yes. In the initial years, you might feel like it's not worth the hard work or the effort. But if you look at the longer term, if you manage to at least pass that tough phase of 2 years during your education, you will definitely find something one way or the other. Everyone's journey might be different. Some might get it in 2 months, some might get it in 6 months, but eventually once you stay dedicated enough and do your part, I think you should be good here, especially getting the PR in such short time. Right now, I know the situations are tough, but eventually, hopefully, once the situation changes, um, it is one of the good destinations compared to other countries, let's say UK or US, where you don't get that opportunity of easy PR.
Very
So,
true. Just
yeah,
adding to this, for all the tech people, you all, many of them look at the US, but unfortunately for Indians and Asians, most Asians, it takes almost 100 years to get the green card. And H1B is also a big pain as well, right? So there are
yes,
students who study two masters and then do H1B until they get their H1B picked up. And in worst case, even if you're lucky with the H1B, you have 60 days in case you are laid off. You
right,
cannot settle in your life. There is no consistency, no guarantee about your life in the US. So Canada is a much peaceful option. What most people do is they come here to Canada, get their Canadian citizenship, and then on the TN visa work with US
right.
employer. Right? That is the easiest path Because US definitely is a big IT market, and it is, uh, it is salaries are definitely 20-30% higher, but it comes at what? Peace of mind because you will get your PR. Second, there is no gun culture in the US like in in Canada, just like in the
Right.
US. So it's really peaceful. So, how was your struggle as an international student? You studied at York. You did the master's program, almost about $60,000, right? The 1 year master's
Yes.
program. Yes. How was it? Yeah.
It was challenging, to be honest, because when I started with it, like I had to manage the expectation of the master's program plus the added pressure of high fees. So I had that in mind that I had to find a part-time job and make sure that I meet my ends. And eventually, in 4 months, COVID hit, so we had to quickly transform into online education. Everything was first time for us as well as the professors. So the times were challenging for sure. But yeah, it was for 12 months. So I managed to pass through that, and then the struggle continued for finding the first job. It's difficult for everyone, the first job, but once you get that first job, it becomes easier for you because you get that Canadian work experience and you start to get the ball rolling. So eventually, you get to the place where you're looking for. But the initial 2 years that um, are tough, to be honest. But you need to be motivated and be uh, keep in mind that the longer picture is that you will be eventually settled here.
Very true. Getting back to like you worked in India and you also are working here in Canada. So, what are the comparatively, what do you see the difference here with your life back in India?
So in India, I was working on the manufacturing side. So I had a field job. I had to go in plant, work with contractors. I had a 9 hour shift for 5 days a week. So that was there, plus the travel time and everything. And if there is any additional work, sometimes I had to stay late as well. But in Canada, it's not like that. I had a fixed time schedule, plus I get the flexibility as well because I work from home. So, if I want to take out an hour or two from my day-to-day job responsibilities, if I have anything urgent, I do get that flexibility. Plus, I've never seen in the past 3 years where I had to stay late due to any work commitment. So here we have that culture that everyone acknowledges that once it hits 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock based on your work timings, depending on no matter how much workload you have, if you're delivering the work, you don't need to stay it late and make sure or get the work done. So you do get extra time. So after 5 o'clock, I have all the time with me. I can pursue my other hobbies. I can um, explore other things on the weekends as well. I do get a lot of time. So the life is much peaceful here, you can say.
Yes. Apart from, the balance of life, apart from that, what else do you like here compared to your pre-work?
The one good thing which I like here is the atmosphere. Yeah, the winters are tough and harsh, to be honest. But again, once if you deduct that 4 months, the weather is too peaceful, the place is too nice. So you do get a lot of option to enjoy the weekends, go out. Plus, the air is much more pollution free compared to India. So that's a
It
great benefit.
especially, I would probably say December, January, and February. Now, today we have 20 plus, right? 24, I think,
Yes.
21, 24. Very nice weather today and tough to sit at home. But very interesting, Sadab. You come from a manufacturing background and you moved into IT. So, how does it feel and how did you manage doing that?
Yeah, so even though I work on the IT side, I don't work on the coding side. So those are two different things. I don't work on the back end. I work on the front end to the customer facing side. So we do have customer requirements. So you need to know someone who understands the business. So if you have that business knowledge, you can get into IT sector because the person who does the coding does not understand the business. So in IT as well, there is always a requirement for person who can get the requirements from the customer and translate it to the person who is doing that coding job. So that's where my expertise came in, because I had done the engineering back in India, and I also worked on the manufacturing side for 2 years. So I had a very good understanding on how the manufacturing industry works, and Oracle had one of the softwares which was specific on the manufacturing, so they were looking for a consultant who can
It's
understand
interesting.
the business from customer side and work in tandem to that. So that helped me a lot.
That is very interesting. So your brother is applying, he's applied with CIP for postgraduate certificate at York University. So you've been through the tough 1 year master's program, 60,000. You don't want your brother to go through the same path, not through a master's. You know, so your thoughts on like how, with masters or you have or a college, your skill set is very important, not just a degree here. So how about a discussion on this?
Yeah, that is totally correct. So when I decided to pursue Canada, I had no one here to understand how the Canadian industry works, what the job market is looking for. In India, what we look for is that if we have a degree from a reputed college, we should get an interview and the job. But the Canadian market is not like that. In Canadian market, people look for specific skill set, irrespective of whether you have done a master or a postgraduate certificate. So when I was applying, I was thinking that postgraduate certificate would not get me the job, and masters would help me get the job. So I decided to spend that extra money and extra bucks on that. But once I came here and the initial months when I was looking for the job, I realized that in the Canadian industry, people emphasizes more on your
Yes.
communication skills, on your specific hardcore skill set, rather than your just degree name. So that's when I decided that rather than spending so much extra money on a master's degree, focus on the learning experience which you get from specific expertise on the postgraduate certificates. And that's why I decided for my brother that it's better to go with that.
Yes, so we were actually discussing with him. York has a very good, School of Continuing Studies. They have 1 year programs. Let me just share a quick screen here. So they have these programs. If you look in, full-time programs in York. So one of the programs is postgraduate certificate in cloud operations, and it is if you guys don't like coding, you don't want to get more into the IT side. Cloud operations is a very good opportunity here. Not much of coding. You can look at the program curriculum here, and York also has other 8 months or one academic year PG programs, postgraduate certificate in cybersecurity, postgraduate certificate in offensive cybersecurity, postgraduate certificate in backend and blockchain development. We work very closely with York University, and we've been requesting a couple of other programs, especially in DevOps and also in data analytics. And I hope one day they might have it. And they also have business programs, postgraduate certificate in public relations, accounting, advanced accounting and accounting programs, human resource management, digital and content marketing. Um, Business administration program, as per the recent Ontario regulations, there is a 2 year uh, you know, moratorium on this. In Canada, students, as I understand, again, this is a developing update. We don't really have more clarity on this. In Canada, students, the program continues and they can study this as a second year. But for students who are from overseas, who require provincial attestation letter, unfortunately, and visa might not be able to apply for this program directly. So York has advised students. Sadar's brother is one of those students. He was into business administration. We'll try to hopefully change it to cloud certification, cloud operations. So yeah. So Sadab, what would be your advice to all the students, prospective students who are planning to go abroad, especially Canada, right? Canada, US.
Yeah, what I would suggest is choose your program wisely, first of all. Be aware of those agents that just sell you those diploma programs, make sure that it aligns with your interest, it aligns with your bachelor's degree, and that helps you to gain real experience and real knowledge, because you are spending your hard-earned money here. And eventually, the second thing which I would advise is, once you are here, it might seem tough in the initial days, but keep going and keep the end picture in the mind, that you are here to learn something, gain the experience, and eventually get the PR. And once you stick to that plan, you should be good in the 2 3 years.
Yes, and very important, guys. I talked to so many prospective international students, and then I asked them what is the future path, and they are unable to understand how to proceed after the studies. They just think that employer will give a job offer, I can extend my work visa after study. That is not true. Even for the US, I asked so many students how after the path after the US, they are not aware of the H1B quota. There is only 20,000 quota for the US for the H1B for international students who study complete masters from the US, and then green card it takes 100 years. So please be careful. We have so many people who are from the US who are applying to come to Canada. So first think, what is the pathway? Educate yourself, right? What do you want? If you want to study and go back to India, then there are some many good options. But if you want to settle down, please make sure you understand, because US is very tough, right? You getting a H1B visa is very tough. Even if you get a H1B visa, there is no consistency and long-term planning. If you're laid off, you only have 60 days to find a new employer. On the H1B and green card for Indian nationals, it takes 100 years. So be careful when you're making, because I've had so many students who were, there are so many scam consultants in India. Unfortunately, none of them have any knowledge, even from the Canadian perspective as well, right? I was talking today morning with one of the applicants. Very few agencies in India have direct agreements with colleges and universities. Majority of them are sub-agents who have never traveled to Canada, who have never lived abroad, and they have absolutely no clue about the post-study immigration pathway. Only RCICs and immigration lawyers can provide these services, and it is very important that you always go first when you are planning this journey abroad. Your real journey starts when you land in Canada. You need somebody here to help you navigate this process. So always look for a consultancy who is an RCIC, has direct agreements with the colleges, and has support services in India and here in Canada that will help you be successful here. Okay. So, right. So you know that is very important before you start your path, right? Well, thank you very much for joining, Sadab. I know it was a short notice. We never planned this interviews, but thank you for finding time in your busy schedule and giving us your precious feedback. Thank you very
No
much.
worries, sir. Thank you, sir.